Do you ride a bike in the city of Trenton, or do you wish you could ride your bike but choose not to because of safety concerns? The City of Trenton and Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission are seeking your help to create a bike plan that is inclusive of all Trentonians. The plan, called Our Streets, a Trenton Bike Plan for All, proposes adding bike lanes and making design changes on certain streets within the city. Whether you're biking because it's the best way for you to get to work or your only way to get to work, whether you bike to pick up groceries for your family, or whether you bike just for fun, the plan aims to provide a safe and comfortable route for you to get to where you need to go. There are about 34,000 households in Trenton. In 2021, roughly 30% of the households reported that they didn't have a car. Right now, the streets in Trenton prioritize motor vehicles, but this leaves out over 10,000 households who do not have one.
For many folks in Trenton, a bicycle is not recreation, it's transportation. So that means getting to school, getting to work, going to the store, and we want to just make sure that everybody can do that safely and efficiently as possible.
So, how will the bike plan change the city's streets? On most streets in Trenton, bicyclists and cars need to share the same space. This can lead to dangerous situations. For example, when a driver unexpectedly pulls out of a parking spot without looking, a bicyclist might be hit. On some streets, the bike plan recommends protected bike lanes. These use materials like flex posts to keep cars from entering the bike lane. Flex posts can be paired with on-street parking for additional protection. Without these barriers, this car might have pulled into the bike lane while parking. Bike lanes can be positioned on the right or the left side of the street, depending on if the street is one-way or two-way. The bike plan also includes two-way cycle tracks. These use a mix of flex posts and on-street parking to protect the bike lanes. But Trenton streets are narrow. Protected bike lanes can't fit everywhere in the city. Another bike facility proposed in the plan is a neighborhood greenway. This would add pavement markings encouraging users to share the road, aka sharos. It would also add signage to show bicyclists where to go and could have lower speed limits to make it safer to share the road. Neighborhood greenways generally keep on-street parking. Lastly, a neighborhood greenway would calm traffic using speed humps. These types of improvements can also increase safety and comfort for other street users like skaters, scooters, pedestrians, or folks taking the bus.
To make room for the infrastructure needed for safe biking, the plan recommends the following: moving parking inward toward the center of the street to fit a bike lane next to the curb. Second, rearranging on-street parking to one side of the street in areas that have traditionally had two-sided parking. Third, reducing traffic speeds so crashes are less likely and less severe. And fourth, converting two-way streets to one-way streets. You might be worrying that this plan could lead to unintended impacts on existing residents. We want to emphasize that the plan is intended to serve people who want to bike more, but in particular, residents who might not have routine access to vehicles. The city is seeking feedback about the bike plan, especially from communities that have been historically left out of the planning process. In that way, we hope to ensure that the changes proposed are beneficial and desired by all.
The City of Trenton has been working towards the vision of a bikeable and walkable city over the last decade. In 2012, City Council passed an award-winning resolution that directed the city to design all projects using Complete Streets principles. Complete streets are streets designed so that people of all ages and abilities can get around safely without a car. In 2021, the city published its Complete Streets Design Handbook, which describes how Trenton streets should be adjusted to meet this vision. In 2022, the city finalized a plan for redesigning intersections around the Trenton Transit Center that would make them easier to bike through and walk across, and secured funding for construction. Later in 2022, City Council passed the Complete and Green Streets Ordinance, requiring new projects to follow the Trenton Complete Streets Design Handbook. It's not just the city advocating for safe streets. Trenton's got a long history of grassroots activism around traffic safety and getting more people on bikes.
So the city of Trenton is primed to be bikeable and walkable. It's 8 square miles. It's relatively flat and quite dense. Car-centric infrastructure and redlining has made it difficult for people to get around. There are still portions of our city that don't have sidewalks, bike lanes, or even crosswalks. So for the past 2 decades, we've been working hard to change this. In 2018, we cut the ribbon on a new bike lane that is going to reconnect 2 major trails.
You'll see it. You'll see people riding in the snowstorm out here just to get to work. You know, being able to have access to safer lanes would be tremendous help. And I think we'll see less injury toward people, me included. Yeah, no, I was riding by like on Broad Street on Dye and Broad, and this guy was trying to like pass a bus and really didn't pay attention to me, so he made a quick right, and yeah, he went into a parking spot and kind of knocked me out. Took my front tire, went flipping over, kind of landed on my head. I'm still here. But it was very, you know, it was a little scary to know that that's something that could very much happen.
Yo estoy tan entusiasmada con este programa de proveer en las calles lugares específicos para las bicicletas. Nuestro pueblo latino necesita hacer ejercicio. Hay miembros de nuestro pueblo latino que no tienen acceso a la guagua, no tienen carros para manejar. Entonces, este proyecto puede proveer la oportunidad para que trabajemos para el bienestar de la salud y para trabajar con personas, nuestras familias que no tienen mucho dinero.
Bike lanes mean transportation, equity, safety, health, and recreation.
In conclusion, the overall goal of the plan is to provide biking infrastructure that fits Trenton's historic and narrow neighborhood streets, safely connecting residents to where they want to go.
For more information about our streets, a Trenton Bike Plan for All, please visit the project page on the City of Trenton's website at bit.ly/bicycleplan.